Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cineménage à Trois podcast. I'm your host Ash, aka Kickass, and I'm joined by Josh and Al, aka Hit Girl and Big Daddy.
Oh, can I be Big Daddy?
Well, that means I'm Hit Girl.
So, she was the cooler of the two, I'd say.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a little girl.
Yeah, but do you remember how Big Daddy talked?
Yeah, but I get to be Nick fucking Cage.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, yeah.
I'm Nick fucking Cage!
Right.
News.
Well, yeah.
I'd say I'd take it first as the newsman, but I believe that, well, you want to go first, but I will introduce the story. The first story is James Earl Jones is stepping back from voicing Darth Vader.
Introduce Chris Pratt as the new voice of Darth Vader.
I hate you.
Have you seen all the memes on Twitter of like the new voice of like Mario leaked and stuff?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up when we talk about the Mario trailer. But this sort of, I feel like this confirms something that I predicted in the Star Wars episode, that Disney is still just going to keep using his voice.
100%.
Yeah, because they can.
Unless they do actually get Chris Pratt, which wouldn't surprise me. That cunt is everywhere.
It's a me,
Mario.
Darth,
It's a me, Darth Vader.
It's a me, Anakin.
I hate Mondays.
I'm joking, me like.
You like. Scoopa, scoopa.
Roller coaster.
There's another news story that you want to take, Josh, as well, and the note I have for it is Todd Howard out of a job.
Yeah, Todd Howard is actually out of a job now because that doesn't exist anymore because Nvidia have released this new thing called RTX Remix.
Oh,
and they turned Morrowind into a game that looks like it got released in this century. No, it did come out this century. This decade.
This decade.
Yeah, so Todd Howard can't release Skyrim anymore. So Todd Howard, by default, is now out of a job because he doesn't have any new ideas.
I mean, talking about the Nvidia stuff, did you all see the footage of Portal?
Yeah.
It looks great.
It looked orgasmic.
I'm now fully done with $70, remakes because Portal are just making their game look like it came out this year.
RTX on.
Yeah, but the sad thing for you, Al, is your laptop can't run Modern Warfare 2 or Siege, so it's not going to be able to run RTX.
It can run Siege. It's just because it's on a HDD. It doesn't load very fast.
Yeah, you ain't got experience.
It's all that 4K. It's all that 4K porn I stream whilst I play Siege.
You used to bully me for having a PS4 with a HDD in it, and we used to play Avengers. Now I'm gonna bully you.
Shut up, peasant. At least I had a PS5 for you.
I'm on the firm fucking belief that anyone who uses a HDD in online games should be forced to play in separate lobbies.
Yeah.
Also, Al, you say you
segregating people.
Yeah, segregation.
Get your money up, bitch.
No historical precedent for why that's a bad thing.
You saying you had a PS5 before Ash just brought me back to that time that your dad was meant to get you one but decided to get cereal instead.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's that. There's also the time where I pre-ordered Hitman 3 for the PS5 and couldn't play it for months because I didn't have a PS5.
Oh, I remember this.
I was out and I was really sad because I really wanted to play it and I was like, but I can't because I don't have a PS5.
Another funny thing is you can't even play Hitman 3 in VR when PSVR 2 comes out because it's not backwards compatible.
That's actually criminal.
I just hate me personally. But before we get off track, the next news story. Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer will write the script for Fantastic Four.
Hi, it's Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Hi, it's Jeff. It's not that Jeff Kaplan. I know we all agreed.
Then he's a nobody. He's a bum. He's a
the both of them, as you say that, are bums. I don't think they've worked on anything before.
Who's Ian Springer?
It just means that they've picked nobodies so that this film can be written by committee.
That's true.
They've picked
shadow writers.
They've just picked people that they can step over to say, well, you've not made films before, you don't really know what you're doing, so we'll write it.
Well, realistically, they've just got an AI that's fed all of the Marvel movies, and then it churns out a Fantastic Four movie.
And then
maybe Chris Pratt's the real director, but they don't want to.
Oh my god!
Well, no,
they don't want to say because they don't want to fall into like the meme.
I don't think we've mentioned it on the podcast. But oh fuck, what's his name?
Chris Pratt.
No, the dude who's directed loads of Always Sunny. He did WandaVision.
Oh fuck!
Fuck.
Professionals.
Yeah.
That one.
WandaVision was trash.
Well,
It was all right.
I'm gonna look this up now because it's bugging me that his name has just left my head. Do.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Matt Shackman. That's it. Matt Shackman. He's directed Fantastic Four.
I thought we mentioned that. Did we not?
I don't know if we have or not, but I'm bringing it up now to cover ourselves if we haven't. Matt Shackman is directing this film. I really like Always Sunny. He's directed some of the best episodes of Sunny. He also directed WandaVision, which
Which was
Doo-doo.
no, it was hit and miss. Guess they never miss, huh?
But yeah,
Got
I feel
a
like
boyfriend. I bet he doesn't kiss ya.
I feel like these two writers are just a springboard for
Ain't no
Marvel.
fucking way.
But yeah, I actually can agree with you.
And also talking about Marvel quickly, it's not in the list, but the leaked clip, the leaked deleted scene from Multiverse of Madness that fucking rocks.
It does. Fucking hell.
And for anyone that's not seen it, it's basically a Scarlet Witch fight scene where
in Camotage.
In
Kamahamaha.
She's just wrecking the wizards, but the standout bit is that she decapitates one of them and then puppets their headless body to kill some more people.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Before we go on from Marvel, have you seen the big there's always discourse on Twitter, especially with Marvel, but have you seen the latest stuff about She-Hulk?
What?
Where you've got people who are saying She-Hulk's bad and they just want Daredevil, and then people are saying that it's She-Hulk's show, they should respect, and it's but Marvel put Daredevil in the fucking trailer.
Yeah,
you can't expect people to not be excited for Daredevil considering he's one of Marvel's most iconic characters, and
considering that he has had the best Marvel show.
I've been thinking
live action Marvel show. He has had by far the best one.
I've been thinking
all of their shit.
Next week's episode would be so much better if I didn't know Daredevil was probably going to be in it.
Yeah, could you imagine how cool that would be?
But
that's why they've done it. It's the hype machine. The Disney Plus form. We'll talk about it later. But I'm gonna go off on one because the Disney Plus formula is starting to piss me off a lot. But
so before we get stuck in the Marvel rut, the next story is October 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. There's going to be a teaser trailer of Illumination's Mario Brothers film.
Chris Pratt.
Releasing April 27th, 2023. I wanted to bring this up because did you all watch the clip I put in the Twitter?
Yeah.
Where's the freaking gabagoo?
I saw so many people take that real as well. They're like, "Oh my god, why didn't they get an actual Italian to play him?" It's not fucking real. Where's the fucking gabagoo?
The fucking gabagoo. It is. It's just it's a fucking outtake from The Sopranos, basically, isn't it? The fucking gabagoo. Leave the fucking cheese where it is.
And I mash your face into bolognese. That's 2 kinds of food.
That's how angry.
We've gone into the Sopranos part of the episode, everyone.
I remember when Al first watched The Sopranos, and he said to us, "I'm now living my life exclusively as Tony Soprano. I'm only eating cold meats." I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I remember going to Tesco with him, and
I bought a cold meat. Yeah.
Where's the fucking gabagoo?
I got Ash in it.
Yeah.
But I literally only brought this news story up because I wanted to do that. That's the only reason I did.
I'm just excited to see. I'm excited to see Charlie Day as Luigi.
That's going to be cool. All of the other casting in that movie is really cool.
It is fucking Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and Jack Black as Bowser.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that there's going to be a scene in that film where Chris Pratt does the worst accent ever and says, "Hey, I'm walking here."
Oh, don't.
No, it's gonna be like
it's
gonna be like those fake tweets where he was being racist about Italians in New York.
Oh no.
But also, my other wife is in this movie, Anya Taylor-Joy. She's Pete.
Yeah.
Your eyes are very far apart.
My other wife.
We can't just insult everyone we bring up on this podcast.
Oh yeah, because Anna Taylor-Joy knows who I am.
Yeah, but if we ever make it big, we're never gonna have anyone left to interview.
Well, if we ever have to interview her, we just know that Josh just can't be here.
Your eyes are very far apart. I'm sorry.
I'm not. She looks like a fucking alien. She looks like she's on day release from Area 51.
Fucking Christ.
Right, let's move on. House of the Dragon, Olivia Cook, on how she plays the role of Alison Hightower. She's like Women for Trump. I don't care about the story. I just want to talk about the show. Very good.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm. Very good show. Very much enjoying it. Actually, there is something linked to this story about how all of like the right-wing YouTubers are upset now that she said this because they're apparently bashing on women who support Trump.
What?
What? But you know, this show's good. I like this show.
I really like the videos where people interview Trump fans and they just have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, because I think between all of them, they have probably like a secondary level education.
We're allowed to make jokes about this. We're not American.
Yeah, you know, our country is run by people we don't like either. So
our country's run by someone who killed the Queen.
One of the months as well.
Yeah,
Liz Truss killed the Queen.
She did.
But let's
move on. Against her whole life.
Basically,
rip our majesty. We didn't deserve you, Lizzie.
This news story, good show, better than Rings of Power. Rings of Power's ass.
Yeah, it is. Bad show.
Show.
Let's move on to Twitch being absolute dickheads.
Oh, we skip. Oh no, it's there. I literally put the note in. God almighty. I knew I'd miss it as well when I wrote it down, and I was thinking to myself specifically, I won't miss it, and I just did. You tweeted about this, didn't you, Ash?
Yeah, so Twitch is cutting streamer pay from 70-30 split to a 50-50 split to improve company profits.
Does this mean donations?
No. It means what the company pays their streamers.
Oh, fuck. I don't care then.
No, because...
What do you mean you don't care?
Because...
I don't care.
What if you went into work? What if you went into work one day and they said, "Oh, we're cutting your pay, so our
get
company
a proper job, innit?"
No,
I'm firmly one of those. I don't understand the Twitch thing. I'm firmly one of the people who don't believe in Twitch. I've never understood it. Stop giving money to people who are playing games. I'm firmly in that camp.
Bro, you watch YouTube.
Yeah, I know, but I don't pay to watch YouTube, and I don't donate to watch YouTube.
Yeah, but a lot of people do, because otherwise you would not have the content you have.
Well, I'd just watch fucking Netflix, wouldn't I? And I pay to watch that.
Yeah.
This isn't top 10
I've never understood the fucking paying to watch, paying Twitch.
I mean, it's supporting someone that you enjoy watching so that they can keep doing what they're doing.
Also, this pay doesn't come from...
No, it doesn't come from donations. It comes from the company itself.
Yeah,
so
if
say donations stop.
What do you mean YouTubers get paid for you watching YouTube videos?
Yeah.
It's the same as that.
It is the same deal. They are
entertainers. It's more effort into YouTube than it is Twitch.
Well, is it? No,
it's not.
It's really not. Twitch streaming is a hassle. Because you have literally got to adapt on the fly.
Ash has streamed and that shit is difficult.
That shit is difficult. And I stream to one viewer. And it's one of YouTube most of the time.
Yeah. That shit was...
I'm firmly in the camp of I just don't care it.
They are entertainers and their pay is getting...
But then also, I don't watch Twitch.
That's the thing.
Another thing. I don't watch
That's the
anyone,
thing. It's not your platform.
I find it boring.
It's a thing of ad revenue. Say, imagine YouTube just went, yeah, we're just not going to pay you as much anymore, which I'm pretty sure they've already done before. And people
YouTube
are angry
revenues
about it.
in the bin, isn't it, YouTube?
Yeah, it's just shitty that the fact that they just went, no, we're just going to cut your pay because we want to make more money.
Well, ladies,
a little bit shit.
Turns out that we opened a real can of worms there.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. But moving
I gotta
on
be
again.
Controversial, boys, is my shtick.
Respawn put out a comment saying that people are been an increased number of harassment towards their development team.
Wait,
why are you laughing?
What is it? What is it? Harass?
Yeah, well, I
What
know
are they
nothing
being
about this.
harassed
I saw
over?
the thing, but like, what is it? Is it Apex? Is
I'm
it,
imagining
like, Star Wars?
Apex. I'm imagining it's Apex.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna second Josh's thing. Just get a real job.
Game developers, just get a real job.
I don't understand why people get paid to make a game.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just bad though. We've said this before. Treat your game developers well, please.
They're not the ones calling the shots. They're just doing what they're told.
Yeah.
Doesn't EA own Respawn?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, fucking. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for Respawn.
Also, Apex Legends, it's not my game. Yeah.
It's a well-made game. It is a well-made game. They put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, but I just don't like it.
I don't like the game.
From what I understand, the community isn't the nicest.
No.
One of the boys, right? He plays all the time. You know who we're on about.
Yeah.
But I was in a call with him before while he was playing it, and I was watching him while I was having my food because, like, I was like sitting there. I was like, oh, let me watch you, see what it's about. Because I was thinking of jumping back in because I played Apex when it first came out, and like it's been a while. And I was sitting there, and like obviously because I'm watching him, I can hear what his teammates are saying because he plays with randoms.
Yeah.
And they hot dropped, and his team left him, and immediately on the mic, like he died, and immediately on the mic, this guy in like an Eastern European accent says, "Okay, man, you can leave now. You fucking prick, you can leave. You're dead. You shit. You can leave." And it's like, bro, just get him back up. Just get him. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
The community seems so fucking bad in that game.
Yeah.
So
it does.
So, Apex Legends community, this is a PSA from the Cineménage Trois podcast. Sort yourself out, or we are coming for you.
Be nicer to our friend.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
We're coming for you if you don't. I'll bash your face into bolognese.
That's 2 cans of food. That's how
angry I
am.
Let's move on before we anger everyone.
Ubisoft Splinter Cell remake will rewrite and update the original game story for a modern day audience.
I don't like that.
It probably means you'll be fighting Russians instead of Middle Easterns. Is this game happening? Is this the only piece of...
Hasn't this game been announced like 4 times?
I don't even know. I can't even remember.
I'm sure it's been announced. It's been canned. It's been announced. It's been
You
canned.
say this game been announced 4 times. Has this game been officially announced once?
No, I can't even remember it being announced.
I've had this in here because I just wanted to talk about this for a bit. Have they even announced a Splinter Cell game?
All I can say is, like, Splinter Cell comes back and it's going to make bank. It's a big franchise. You know, the closest thing we got to Splinter Cell at the moment, I think, is having fucking Sam Fisher in... What game's he in?
Siege.
Is he in... I know he's in Siege, but he's in another one, isn't he? He's in Wildlands.
He's in a Ghost Recon.
Yeah. And he's not even called Sam Fisher in Siege. He's called Zero.
But it is him.
Like, it is cool though, because like when you play a Zero, you shoot the little cam out, and it makes the noise of like. It's cool.
But yeah, why can't they just stop using Tom Clancy's name? The man's dead. Leave him alone.
I was asking the other day, is his name just public domain? Because they just slap it on anything and like things that just have nothing to do with him.
I just make a new game and just don't call it Tom Clancy, because most people these days don't really know who Tom Clancy is. You literally go up to someone like, "Do you know who Tom Clancy is?" They'd be like, "That's the one who made fucking Splinter Cell, like the game." You're like, "No, it's not."
I saw a tweet a few months ago, and it just makes me think back to it. And basically, it was a tweet that said, "Well, you just said like stop using the Tom Clancy and like the name on everything," and someone was like, "Yeah, but Siege is Tom Clancy straight out the pages," and it's like, no, it's not.
Rainbow Six was a Tom Clancy property.
Yeah, but like Rainbow Six Siege is very different to Rainbow Six, like the first Rainbow Six. It's a very different game.
Yeah.
And while I'm a big fan of Rainbow Six Siege, it doesn't need to be called Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
When are we going to get a faithful video game adaptation of Hunt for Red October?
That's what I was about to ask.
That'd be cool.
Just looking for a submarine.
Just look. There it is.
Oh, it's there. Game over. Right.
It would be cool though if they could make that into an actual thing.
I'm pretty sure there is
a
Hunt for Red October game.
Yeah, but does it have Tom Clancy's name on it?
Imagine if it didn't. That would be the cherry on the cake, wouldn't it?
Yeah. but that's
the icing on the cake, the cherry on the pie. Sorry, I just went for. I combined them both together.
Whoa!
The icing on the pie and the cherry. What? What's going on? Move on. Just move on.
The big story this week.
Cyberpunk.
If I need your body, I'll fuck it.
Shut up! Stop stealing my tweet.
Ash tweeted that. When will Cyberpunk out?
I'd chortled.
so following the release of Edge Runners, Cyberpunk has been on. It's going to the moon, baby. It's on the rise. On Monday, it was at 78,478 concurrent players. It went up to 83 on Tuesday, 86 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday.
And as you can tell, Kylo has really been enjoying Cyberpunk.
Don't matter. This game's always going to be known as a bad game. We spoke about this before.
No, because the perception has been changing about it.
No, but we spoke about this before. We spoke about with No Man's Sky. The general consensus with No Man's Sky is that it's a bad game, even though it's not.
I actually wouldn't say the general consensus is anymore.
No, but you got to think of casual gamers, not people people who literally just play.
But the thing is,
COD, FIFA,
the thing is,
GTA.
The people who are probably going back to it are the casual gamers because they've seen Edge Runners on Netflix.
I don't know.
They've decided to go back to Cyberpunk to try it out because they're like, I enjoyed Edge Runners, so I'm going to go back. And people seem to be thinking it's pretty good now.
I haven't played it yet. I've been waiting for it to get good to play it.
Now is the time to jump back in.
Now is the time to jump in. So.
But then again,
you're not an RPG fan.
Your comments on RPGs would mean that you probably won't.
You probably will not enjoy it.
But is it am I gonna fall through the road?
No.
Okay, cool.
Going back to numbers, as of yesterday, I believe it passed 100,000 concurrent players, and it's sat around somewhere like 104.
That's mad. That is crazy.
Which is higher than The Witcher 3's all-time.
They definitely knew what they were doing, bringing out Edge Runners and then putting it on sale.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually. I was like, why is Edge Runners coming out so long after Cyberpunk 2077? You're like, what's the point? But it was a genius marketing move because now it's just when the game has been updated and patched and stuff, that's when people are jumping in and going, "This is good." So,
I had Cyberpunk very cheap. I did.
This story
is $5.
This story is slightly out of date. The top sellers, because I just checked Paul Tassie's Twitter again, and as of 7 minutes ago, Cyberpunk is the top selling game on Steam.
Whoa, is it actually?
Yeah.
Shit.
Bearing in a lot at the moment, then.
That's in the US anyway. I think it's number 2 in the UK. I will actually go check Steam for that data.
It's number 2 on Steam.
Yes.
Steam Deck is number 1. So I don't know if it actually counts because you know.
I suppose we'll just count
Cyberpunk is number 1
as the number 1 game.
You're breathtaking.
Yeah, which is kind of mad, and we do have to take into account that the game is on sale right now. US price $30, UK price £25.
That's still an investment, though, isn't it? Like you know, with Steam, most people with me, I don't tend to buy games if they're all quite.
Yeah.
So that's still.
But we're not true gamers, are we?
No, we haven't played Among Us.
But this is nice to see.
It is. I actually hoping this is the redemption arc of CD Projekt Red.
Well,
it's always good to see a game change public perception. And
I finished
it's going to be hard.
When it was in a bit of a state, and I didn't outright hate the game.
No, I played it and then I sort of dropped it, but it wasn't bad when I played it. I just couldn't get into it.
It was a bit difficult to get through because of.
I'm still of the opinion that they should have delayed it and just released it as an.
Oh yeah,
but it wasn't them.
Yeah, it was.
It was like shareholders and stuff. Yeah, the board saying that they needed to get the game out.
What are they working on now then?
A new
because
Witcher
I know they're doing the Witcher. I know they're doing the
Witcher
on PS5 and Xbox.
They're working
on
a new Witcher game.
They are working on a new Witcher game.
Because that's due out this year, isn't it? The next gen Witcher.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it might have been delayed.
Oh, has it been delayed? Because I knew it was due for quarter 4. But
do Do you remember when they also were planning a Cyberpunk Online? An online
Were they?
part? Yeah, they were planning on putting an online into Cyberpunk 2077, but I don't know if they're going to go ahead with that now. I think they've probably scrapped it. But maybe after the success of Edge Runners,
I was about to say maybe after the recent revitalization of Cyberpunk, they might consider a small online.
Which I think it would be pretty cool. I think it would be pretty fun to just go around Night City with your mates.
Hitting up all the bars, the clubs.
We can all go to the afterlife.
Now that we've got Cyberpunk out of the way, it's time for Al to have the biggest grin ever.
Destiny 2 has been in Steam's weekly top 20 sellers every week in 2022. It was in the top 10 sellers for 21 weeks and the top 20 sellers for 57 weeks consecutive.
I'm going to put a point out there, which I said last night.
Wait, before you put it out, I just want to say, dead game.
I think this is very much due to not just the fact that Destiny is a fun game to play, but the fact that there are hardly any good FPS games out there. They're all ass. Like traditional FPS games. Like, we'll get onto it a little bit more later, but like my FPS of choice is Siege, a game that came out in 2016, I think, because every other game is ass.
My FPS of choice is Destiny 2, a game that also came out in 2016.
What's an FPS?
Why? Because they're ass, isn't they? Every fucking shooter that's out at the moment is ass.
Like they tried to
frames per second.
Like, I feel like shooters are just trying to add more just complex mechanics to things.
I take me back to the days of like MW2 and Battlefield 3 and 4.
Getting quad feeds with quick scopes, like
yeah. I just don't like FPSs these days. They're all dog shit.
I believe you're making this point because, well, we'll talk about it later. But something came out this week that you played and you didn't like it.
Yeah. And I'm in fear of being called a Sony pony. You know, I'll say that I don't like it.
The final news story. Tim Burton's Wednesday releases on Netflix November 23rd. Guess what day that is, guys?
Tuesday.
Ha 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 ha. It's actually a Thursday.
Oh fuck! I was close.
I joke though. It's releasing on a Wednesday.
Hello, it's me, Luis Guzman.
This release date confuses me.
Why?
Why is it not in October?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Maybe it's not ready.
Yeah, but why are they not releasing it in the spooky month?
Yeah,
the spooky month.
It's the same as there's a 4K restoration of a film coming out. I can't remember if it's Halloween or if it's Friday the 13th and it comes out November 1st.
If it's Halloween, that's pretty funny.
Why, you know? Why?
It's funny because it's a day off. It comes out on November 1st if it's Halloween.
Do you think, like, marketing and, like, production, distribution, they all realize these shit?
Like, I reckon
most of the
they
time
just...
horror movies are usually quite good for coming out in October. They usually release them around the October period. Like,
that's
companies
the thing.
know
that. The what was it? The Dark Pictures anthology. Those games usually release in October. I don't know if it's releasing in October this year.
That's November as well. It's a bit later.
Fucking, what's going on?
It's Halloween now, November 31st.
Yes.
Is that on November 31st?
I don't.
It's November 30th, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll replace Halloween with Fireworks Day. Fireworks can go off on November 31st of October 31st.
Where we celebrate him trying to blow up Parliament.
But should have done it.
Should have. Liz Truss wouldn't have killed the Queen.
Disclaimer: none of us are terrorists. Please don't send someone to my house.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, put a black bag over my head and take me away. MI5, if you're listening, I've not done anything.
It's like that scene in Community where Abed's just listing how to make napalm.
Right. I think we spent a long time on the news. Jeez.
With that, the news is done.
Half of it was not talking about the news.
It was a fun time. Professional. And with that, I believe we go on to this week's edition of There in That.
Question mark.
Question mark, yes. Where it was my turn to pick an actor. And my reasoning behind this one is that we've done exclusively men every time we've done there and that.
We really have.
So I thought I'd pick a woman. And we're
Men
doing
are easier
Hailee,
targets, that's why.
Hailee Steinfeld.
Can I go first?
You can go first.
Okay, so complete transparency. Never seen anything she's in. Don't know what she's good at. Barely know who she is. So I don't know if this is a good choice or not, but I'm casting her as Ramona in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because that's one of Ash's favourite films, and Ash can love it even more that his wife is in it.
Ramona!
How do you feel about that, Ash?
I don't know.
Your wife who becoming Ramona.
But does this change the continuity of time where McGregor now cheats on his wife with Hailee Steinfeld instead of with Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
I mean, that's a bit noncy, isn't it? She's young.
She is quite young. She's like the same age as us, isn't she?
Yeah, she's very similar age to us.
I'd sleep with Ewan McGregor.
I mean,
I would too, yeah.
Oh, Ewan, you are a bold one.
Oh, like, no.
It's over the high ground.
Well, the negotiations were short.
Oh god. I quite like that. That's a good suggestion.
I haven't got a clue if she's a good actress or not. Ash is one of Ash's favourite films, and it's his waifu, so combine them.
Oh fucking hell!
So
I still just can't get over those Obi-Wan jokes.
I'll go next then, whilst he processes the Obi-Wan jokes. Last Christmas, I received
you my heart, but
I received a copy of Matt Fraction's run of Hawkeye.
Oh, this motherfucker's doing it.
And whilst reading that, because Kate Bishop's in that, I thought that she'd be excellent to be cast as Kate Bishop if they ever adapted it in the MCU. Wow, wouldn't it be neat if they did something like that, guy? Yeah.
Oh Christ!
Alternatively, Spider-Gwen.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you! I'm going to kill you.
Edge of 17. That would also be.
I'm going to end your life.
There you go. I'm just doing this to make him upset. What we'll do is my choice actually is to digitally alter Top Gun and replace Kelly McGillis with Hailee Steinfeld.
What?
So everyone else is the same. But we've just digitally edited,
faked.
We've deep faked Kelly McGillis out of the film and Hailee Steinfeld into it.
Oh my god. Okay, was there a reasoning behind this, or?
Because I don't know. Funny.
Funny. Okay.
Funny. She gets to be in a film with Tom Cruise. Take my breath away. Da, da. Wait.
Okay.
The implication there is a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know you said Hailee Steinfeld's the same age as us?
Yeah.
Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio's going to date her for you?
Well,
I don't know if she's 25 though.
We're reaching the cutoff.
I don't know if she is 25, so she's shit out of luck, isn't she?
Well, you're like Star Wars, so you can date me if you want.
So
complete transparency again. We are 3 heterosexual men. 3 white heterosexual men.
You really struggled to say that, then, didn't you?
I'm trying. Move on.
I don't think he quite believes it himself. The way you say.
No.
Oh, the amount of flirting that we do with each other, Al. You know, it's hard sometimes.
You look submissive and breedable today.
Oh, he's done it again. Right.
Oh, my God.
I'm getting this back on track. So, I think I've got 2 castings. One of them's smaller. I think she'd be really good in a film called Bumblebee as Bumblebee.
Not as the character she is.
No, she just scaled up Hailee Steinfeld as Bumblebee.
That's great.
So, but we were talking about Community and stuff. So sitcoms. I was thinking of sitcoms, and then I thought there's an older one, which is very famous. And the main character, the main actor, plays him beautifully. I think Jerry Seinfeld plays a perfect Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But what if it was Hailee Steinfeld and the show was called Steinfeld?
Ironically, and I didn't know you were doing this today, but incredibly ironically, I'm wearing my George Costanza t-shirt.
Yeah,
I legitimately didn't know you were doing this bit.
Oh my god, I'm finished.
Well, this works on so many layers. I'm actually quite frightened.
That's perfection. Now we need to make a there in that awards, and that needs to be number 1.
Funnily enough, funny fact about this George Costanza t-shirt, I wore it to the birth of my son.
You did, didn't you? Isn't that one?
It's the first thing he saw when he was born was George Costanza.
So when he popped out and he went, nah, I'm more of a Friends fan, and went back in.
That man bagged some 10 out of 10s, and I don't understand how.
Oh, it's George Costanza, isn't he?
George Costanza nearly bagged Marissa Tomei. Like, as Marissa Tomei. Like, legitimately.
That's my there.
I have one more alternative casting. This is a complete hypothetical. As a girl that lives 3 doors down from Ash, and you know they have a little meet cute and they hit it off, and then she becomes Ash's wife. Just silence. Silence.
It's funny how he refuses to accept it, doesn't he? Because he said, I don't listen to it that much. We clicked on his Spotify profile and he's just listening to it.
Wasn't there one night where he listened to Back to Life like at least 5 times?
Yeah, because it kept repeating.
Can say, yeah, but you did nothing to stop it.
Yeah, because I was busy.
Consecutively, just listen to Back to Life.
No, it alternated between the normal version and the 80s remix. So go
right.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
That was a good one.
So we can either do Geekly Confession now, or we can wobble it around a bit. We can do an alternate thing. We can do elevator pitch.
We're thinking.
What do you want to do?
We just do 2 Geekly Confessions this week.
If you want.
Yeah, because I got one I want to talk about as well.
And then I'll just go next week.
Okay. Run the intro.
You're now tuned in to Geekly Confessions, where these 3 idiots share some things they may or may not be ashamed of. So sit back, relax, and prepare for some easy listening with Geekly Confessions.
So it's going to be a double whammy, as Josh has just dropped on us. So my first one, I feel like it'll be a bit of a short one, is that I really like the Uncharted series, but the first Uncharted game is arse. It's just a bad game.
This was
yeah, it's arse.
It's a bad.
It's not something I can really comment on because I haven't played it in a while, but you two have. So
I just got the platinum to it, and I love the story. Don't get me wrong.
I don't.
I really like the story, but it's just hard to play, isn't it?
It's hard to play. The villains are just forgettable.
Who are the villains?
Navarro.
Yeah, but there's like 3 villains.
Eddie Raja.
Eddie Raja's the most memorable one.
Is Navarro Uncharted 1, or is he Uncharted 3?
No, that's
2.
No, 2 is Lazarevich.
Lazarevich is 2.
3 is Marlowe, isn't it?
Marlowe and Talbot.
Yeah. The woman who looks like Helen Mirren is number 3.
Yeah. Number 3 is just a better game.
Number 4 is Haircut.
There is just I think that's my geek confession. Uncharted 3 is just better than Uncharted 1.
That is a hot take.
I think gameplay wise it is. I think story wise number 1 is bad. I'm not a big fan of number 3.
I think number 3, there are definitely some story beats that like are really weird, but just overall the experience is just so much better with Uncharted 3. The set pieces are better, the combat is better. I feel like the interactions between characters are better. It's just better.
I think Naughty Dog should have remade the trilogy instead of The Last of Us Part 1, because Last of Us Remastered was still really good.
Yeah, I played The Last of Us Remastered like before Last of Us 2 came out, and it still holds up very well.
Yeah, graphically it's still really good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Graphically, the Uncharted games are still pretty good.
Not when you switch between Uncharted 1 and then 4.
I went back to Uncharted. Yeah, Uncharted 1 is the worst looking one. But I think Uncharted 2 and 3 are still...
Yeah, 2 and 3 look really good.
Pretty
like,
good.
imagine a ground-up remake in, like, the Uncharted 4 engine of the trilogy.
Yeah. Well, they've already got a young Drake model, so...
Yeah, exactly. It'd be really good, and I think that's something, you know, Sony could bring out to, like, satiate the hunger between releases.
Mm-hmm.
You know, between the big, like, whatever year they decide to do it. Like, say, you know, you got Ghost of Tsushima 2 coming out in, like, November. You've got another one coming out in March. They could drop it in, like, July to, like, fill out their calendar. It'd be a good release. Yeah. I'd pick it up.
It's not a bad idea.
I probably would as well. Another few platinums to get.
But you know the way gaming is these days, they'd probably say $70 for each one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I'm imagining that's you done, Ash.
Yep, that's my geekly confession.
And as Ash stated, we're doing a double one this week.
Yeah. I watched something the other day.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the second one, and I've never seen the second one. So I watched my favorite horror film of all time the other day. That has my favorite final girl in it. I watched The Evil Dead. My favorite final girl being Ash Williams.
Yes. Naturally.
As much as I love, like, The Evil Dead, I've never seen The Evil Dead 2. So I watched The Evil Dead 2. Oh my fucking god! What a fever dream.
Are you surprised?
No. Yes. I don't know. Quite frankly, it's incredible. I loved every second of it, and it's insane how different in tone the first film and the second film are. It's pure cheese. It's pure camp. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's Raimi all over, isn't it?
It's so good. We get the iconic groovy line. We get the swallow this line. No, it's just a really good film, and now I've got to wait until Christmas where I can get Army of Darkness, because it's not on anything, and I don't want to buy it on Prime. Like, I bought number 2 on Prime because it was on sale. But yeah, number 2 is a really good film, and it's not often horror films get good sequels. I've noticed, like, a lot of them are written half and they get progressively worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, Evil Dead 2, good film. Highly recommend it.
Well, I will have to finally get around to watching my copies of them now.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen it after.
Yeah,
like, you have them all, don't you?
I have them all, yeah.
Because I sold you the remake on.
You sold me the steelbook of the remake, yeah. So yeah, I have them all.
Number 4's coming, not number 4. The remake's coming out in 4K as well this year, so I'm going to buy that.
But we have established that anything that you own, you just don't watch.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched Elvis, and I bought that.
It's out.
Yeah.
I thought it only just come out to cinema.
It's out.
No, it's been a while.
I don't know what to tell you. I have the Blu-ray of it. It's around here somewhere.
Oh, plug it into your laptop and share your screen. I'll watch it with you.
What, right now?
Yeah, been off the podcast. We've been
commentary. We've turned into a commentary.
We've been Cineménage Trois. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna go watch Elvis now. Bye.
I'm gonna get our Jailhouse Rock on.
Right.
But yeah, that's Geekly Confession.
Geekly Confession this week. Done and dusted. Sorry I didn't bring one because I didn't know we were doing a double barrel one.
No, neither did I.
Mine was more off the cuff. I just wanted to talk about it because I watched it 2 days ago.
Yeah, because he jismed.
It was good.
I mean, don't we have a brand new section that we're bringing back this week where you could have just talked about that?
Yeah.
He's
fucked it. He's fucked it.
But I've done other stuff this week.
Well,
we were also meant to do that before the news, but we didn't.
Oh well, yeah, but we're not very good at reading the notes, are we?
Okay,
my brother in Christ, you wrote them.
We're doing a new segment. We're moving on.
Segment.
And it's elevator pitches.
For lack of a better name, it's called elevator pitch. Now, I put this forward originally with the idea of pitching a brand new sitcom, but the other two didn't plan anything, so we're just pitching.
No, I've got plans.
We're just pitching, yeah, but it wasn't a sitcom, so
no.
So we're just pitching stuff. But I, for one, will be pitching a sitcom. Now, I said this to Ash the other night. and it got a laugh, so I'm confident in it. My sitcom idea is an internet startup. We're going to do a series about an internet startup company, but every single character is going to be a Muppet.
Oh my god.
Legally distinct, of course, from the Muppets. I can't use the Muppets because I don't own them.
Muppets.
The main character, as I decided, would be called Kremlin the Toad. To get around copyright, because I'm sure that counts as parody and is therefore transformative.
Yeah, parody law.
Parody law. So Kremlin the Toad, prototype name, will be the head of an internet startup company, and there will be goofy internet startup company hijinks, much like sitcoms like, oh, do you not like this, Kylo?
Does he not like the Muppets?
You don't like the Muppets and Kremlin the Toad? You're disturbing my pitch. If this was a real elevator pitch meeting, I'd be chucked out.
Of the elevator? What
The elevator.
While it's moving?
Mortal Kombat style. They'd chuck me down an elevator shaft.
Are we just doing Dragon's Den, but in an elevator?
Yeah, Shark Tank.
Yeah, it's
Dragon's
imagine
Den.
you saw like your boss, non-distinct
Your boss,
company,
in
the lift, and you have an idea, and you're like, I was thinking of this. That's what it is.
That's what this is.
I mean, I've got one. I've thought of one while we've been doing it anyway. So
okay, it's not the one where you eat something and shit out gold.
Mate, I'm telling you now, if there was a way to eat something and shit out gold, everyone would be a lot happier.
The D&D alchemist that eats lead and has to eat lead to transform it into gold. There you go. That's a free idea for your D&D playthrough right there. But I'm done. Internet startup company, but every character is a puppet.
I go next.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so mine is heavily based on licensing.
Oh, God.
So like it needs the Marvel license. Okay, it needs the Marvel MCU license.
It needs
after how we spoke about Marvel, I don't think they're giving it to us.
So my pitch is that we're in a not too distant dystopian future where the MCU run the world. Okay, yeah. Kevin Feige's the grand ruler.
Cool.
We cut to a small New York apartment where we have three guys sitting around a coffee table.
Yes.
The three guys are Martin Scorsese,
Robert
De Niro, and Joe Pesci.
Oh, this is brilliant.
And do you know how Wolfenstein has like Blazkowicz taking down the New World Order?
Yeah.
It's going to be them three trying to resurrect cinema. And it's going to be them three coming up with wacky plots every week, trying to take down the machine.
You have to give it some sort of stupid, stereotypical, like American Italian, like saying as a name. And I'm going to give that to you
Gabagoo.
right now. This sitcom is going to be called "What Are You Gonna Do?"
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Honestly, them three taking down the machine that is the MCU.
Oh, right. They could actually be called the Cineménage à Trois.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, is it just us?
It's us!
Can Martin Scorsese play me?
Can I be Joe Pesci? I want to be small.
No, you are smaller than us, so realistically, yeah, you have to be. And that just leaves me as De Niro then, I guess.
You're laughing.
Have we just come up with a film adaptation of the podcast?
I think so.
But like, I wanted to have heavy fourth wall breaks.
Of course.
And whenever Robert De Niro and like Joe Pesci come up with a good idea, I want Martin Scorsese to turn to the camera and go, "It's cinema."
Oh god. This is just a show about the podcast. As fourth wall breaks, we can just walk into the apartment like Kramer in.
We could do the the Spider-Man pointing at each other, and I could point to Joe Pesci, you could point to Robert De Niro, and Ash can point to Martin Scorsese. Wait, if I'm Joe Pesci, I got battered by Macaulay Culkin.
You did.
You did.
You're also funny.
Oh, that's an issue. I'm not funny.
Funny how? Like a clown.
Like I am.
I am you.
It's like poetry.
It rhymes.
It rhymes. Mine is kind of linked to sitcoms, but it isn't a sitcom itself. My pitch is that now that we have Steinfeld, we just replace Hailee Steinfeld with anything that Jerry Seinfeld has ever been in.
Oh no.
So we get Hailee Steinfeld as in the B movie, but we'd have to change it to Betty B. Benson.
Betty B. Benson. How are you
Just
going? How are
everything.
you altering comedians in cars getting coffee?
Well, this just comedy.
I think that's like all he's done since Seinfeld, so there's not really much to change.
There you go. That's fine. And a few of his stand-ups.
A few of his stand-ups, yeah. I'm Hailee Steinfeld. She's a pretty,
but I also have
pretty funny
2
Donnie,
more
so.
pictures.
Oh.
An Uncharted movie where it's a bartender in New York called Nathan Drake.
Oh wow!
And he teams up with Marky Mark. And
goes on Mark of the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, and then he goes on Globetrotting Adventures, and Marky Mark ends up in a Papa John's.
That sounds like a film that I'd watch.
But in all seriousness, I think an Uncharted movie should just do Nathan Drake's daughter, and we just get Nathan Fillion as older Nathan Drake.
Do you know that first Uncharted pitch you made, Ash?
Yeah.
That sounds like a film that I definitely have on Blu-ray and haven't watched yet.
That sounds like a film that when the trailer came out, I hated every second of it. I think.
I mean,
does the author anyway cast Tom Hardy as Tom Holland. Tom Holland.
I mean, Tom Hardy would probably be more fit than he won a Brazilian.
Bro, that shit's crazy. Man just turned up in Milton Keynes and won a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like, what is that?
Oh, just to think that Uncharted was in development for so long that Mark Wahlberg was originally Nathan Drake.
But I'm gonna say it. I enjoy the Uncharted film because I just like those adventure sort of films. And the thing is, towards the end, it feels like an Uncharted film. I'm like, okay.
As someone who's seen both, then is the fan film better or the actual film better?
Oh, the fan film.
Nathan Fillion nails.
He basically is Nathan Drake. That's
Nathan Fillion's Nolan North.
Yeah.
All the casting in that fan film is really good because they got Stephen Lang, didn't they, as well?
They did. For Sully, yeah.
For Sully.
Very, very good fan film.
I'm going to say it because I've said
That's
it.
That's a one per week.
I'm going to say it because I've said it so many times before. Once they obtained it, shouldn't have just been called Obtainium.
And that's the end of the podcast. We hope you've enjoyed this run. We are never coming back. We're leaving you with
the final episode of the Cineménage
podcast.
There's our other one per week.
Jim Cameron is coming now that Avatar's back in theatre because we've said this. He has to stop all slander towards the film.
Someone mention Ezra Miller.
This podcast is just ticking off boxes at this point.
Yeah, we've got to get Ezra Miller in somehow.
Do you know how the MCU has a formula?
Do you think I could create a slander story where Ezra Miller battered me? Think it'd sell?
Can you make up news?
Yeah.
Do we have the poll?
Fake news.
Do we have the poll to make up believable news stories?
I don't know. One of our tweets got seen by over 100,000 people, but we only got like 9 likes on it because we aren't funny, apparently.
Don't remind me.
Oh, elevator pitch was fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we're going a bit serious now.
We've got to have a grown-up, serious conversation with all of you boys and girls.
Us being grown up.
Or people who don't identify by those genders.
Daddy, and Daddy are going to sit you all down and talk to you. There is no mummy because we don't have any women on this podcast.
We're heavily
women,
sexist, of course.
Because as we've established, we don't like She-Hulk, so we just hate women.
Yeah, we don't like She-Hulk, so we hate women. I also don't like Rings of Power, which means obviously I also hate women even more.
Yeah.
My butthole rings of power.
No, we're not doing this joke again.
Not that big. It's just tick the boxes. We can have a list of tick boxes every week. And just
I'm going to bring it back every week until you put out your review of the Rings of Power.
I mean, one day we'll just release a drinking game for the Cineménage à Trois and just get everyone fucking plastered.
That is at least 5
Ezra Miller,
weeks.
Down your pint.
It's at least 5 weeks until Rings of Power finishes, so...
I'm using that joke 5 more times.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. That's definitely not going to get old.
Well, like your cum joke.
What?
When will Edge be allowed to come?
Yeah, fuck you.
Right. So, our serious topic of conversation for this week. Will comic book movies go the way of the Western?
Yes.
Yes,
We've been Cineménage à Trois.
Good night, everyone. And on that bombshell, it's time to end.
Live from New York. It's Saturday Night Live.
We are on one today.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a case of will they. It's they have.
They are starting to go that way.
They are starting.
Even some of the people, like our friends that are massive MCU fans, are just like, yeah, I'm over it. I don't care anymore.
Phase 4 was bad.
More like Phase Bo, am I right?
And I don't even think it's just the MCU. Like, I'm over DC as well.
And I am.
Like, the only DC films I'm interested in now are the Batman sequels.
Yeah.
It's because they're not superhero
the
films.
hierarchy of the DCU.
There's our one per week. We've brought it back again.
But it's so sad because I remember being so excited for superhero films for a lot of my life. I'm like, yeah, let's go watch this. Let's go watch this. This new film's coming out. This has been announced. I cannot wait. And now it's just, I don't care.
I wouldn't say that I was a midnight release kind of guy, but I was definitely a first week showing kind of guy.
I've been twice or 3 times for midnight, I think, and I went for BVS.
I remember I went with you to BVS because I bought a Kung Fu Panda cup.
And I think I went to both Avengers. I definitely went to Endgame. I don't know if I went to Infinity War though.
I know I went to Endgame with you.
The only midnight
I went to Endgame with you and Kurt.
The only midnight showing
there was
I've
loads
ever
of us. It was me, you, and Kurt in mine that we went, and we met a few of the boys down there as well. Because we had the entire back row, and if you remember, there was one guy sitting between us.
Yeah.
he was just clapping every now and again. We were like, bro, surely you could have just moved and let all the boys be together. Like,
yeah. It was pretty comical.
The only midnight release I've ever been to is The Rise of Skywalker.
I actually went to the midnight release of Rogue One.
I know. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
I actually really enjoyed that film. So
it's not a midnight release, but it's a funny story. I think it was with you I went, Dash, when we went to watch The Force Awakens in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
And they had subtitles through the entire film.
Because we didn't realise it was one of the hearing impaired showings.
Yeah.
So we were like, what the fuck's going on?
And I went to watch it again the second day, the next day, because I couldn't focus.
Because man can't read.
Funny though, because when I play games, I have the subtitles on all the time.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't tend to have subtitles on
with TV. Or
I do.
TV or film.
But I always have it with games.
I watch them more now because Liv likes watching them with subtitles on, so I just watch them. I'm used to it now.
But yeah, back to the conversation. Phase 4 has been a resounding big plop.
Just sigh.
Like, I don't think any of the films in Phase 4 have received much.
No, except for maybe No Way Home.
I saw a tweet the other day, and do you know that I'm going to describe it really poorly, but I'm hoping you know what I'm on about.
Mm-hmm.
You know the thing where it cuts it into 3 segments and they draw the horse and the horse progressively.
Yes.
I saw one the other day and it was good for Phase 1. It was awful for Phase 2. It was like a fire horse for Phase 3, and then it was like I think it was just a squiggle for Phase 4. And I'm going to be one of those guys. I honestly think Phase 1 might be the best phase.
Phase 1 is the best phase. I will probably say I don't mind Phase 2, mind. Some good stuff in Phase 2.
I think
Phase 2 was pretty solid as well. I think Phase 3 was okay.
We got the first Guardians in Phase 2.
Phase 3 was when it started to get really formulaic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Phase
the first Doctor Strange was in Phase 2, and the first Doctor Strange is really good. I actually really like the first Doctor Strange.
Phase 3 is carried very heavily by both Avengers films.
Yes.
And Ragnarok.
Yes.
And Ragnarok.
Yes.
Ragnarok's a good film.
But yeah, like I'd say it's going the way of the West. And
you're saying like
superhero stuff is doing
how you're kind of like bored by DC now. Like to think that in the DCEU the most developed character is Peacemaker.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Like it's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's not Wonder Woman, it's fucking Peacemaker.
Not me, not Hermione. You.
And that's not to say that Peacemaker isn't good, because John Cena is doing a really good job as Peacemaker. I really like Peacemaker. It's one of the only TV series I've ever bought on Blu-ray.
I'd been meaning to watch it because I loved the Suicide Squad.
I don't watch much TV other than sitcoms. So.
The only other TV series I have on Blu-ray are The Sopranos and Breaking Bad.
The fucking Gabagoo.
Josh just watched episodes of Steinfeld on repeat.
Gabagoo over here.
But this goes into my rant about Disney Plus. Disney Plus has not helped it.
Yeah.
In any way,
formula
with
I can't speak. Disney Plus has just made it worse, hasn't it?
Ash very regularly says that the Disney Plus formula ruined Hawkeye.
It did. Because
you're not wrong.
Right, wait, I'm getting into it. I'm rubbing my hands. I'm about to throw hands.
I can hear him rubbing his hands.
That doesn't sound like he's rubbing his hands and telling you.
Are we bringing back the big beefy men beating meat?
Oh no, we're not. We're not bringing that back. But the Disney Plus formula, too many things getting released all the time. It's just too much. The fact that you don't get a break between any release on Disney Plus really is stupid for one.
Like they should be like alternate it. I'm gonna say this before you get into it deeper. But we're getting Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
We should probably be in like a 3-way sort of rotation where we get Marvel, Star Wars, and then Disney.
Counterpoint.
Just have breaks in between.
But no, seriously, I think Disney Plus has helped Star Wars so much.
Because I was about to say that as well, is that it's worked for Star Wars.
Because there's not as many things coming out.
We're not constantly bombarded with it.
That's the thing. How many properties now are from Marvel are releasing in 2023?
Fuck knows, there's a lot.
A lot.
There's
a lot
10,
of things.
Isn't it?
And there's probably about 3 films as well. Alongside all of those series, which it's just oversaturating it. It's ridiculous.
Another problem with them is that we say it works for Star Wars, but Star Wars isn't in a place where you have to watch the shows to understand the next film.
No.
Like
Star Wars films are pretty much done, aren't they? Like you got the story. It's just more to the story. Whereas with Marvel,
the last 3 shows that came out for Star Wars were Book of Boba Fett, a show that you don't need to watch if you're concerned with anything that happens in the sequel trilogy, because Boba Fett doesn't show up in the sequel trilogy. Kenobi, which we have his story before the show and we have his story after the show outlined very, very well.
Yeah, it's just a love letter to the character.
And we have Andor.
I think anyway, and a lot of people hate it.
And we have Andor, which started last week. Which
you don't have to watch that if you don't want to understand what goes on in Star Wars.
Because guess what?
I like this formula. I think it's good for Star Wars. I just don't. I haven't watched any of the MCU shows, and I think it showed when I watched Multiverse of Madness, and I had no idea what was going on because
that's the thing. My father enjoys watching superhero films. I remember I used to go to the cinema to watch stuff with him all the time. But now, I was like, oh, he's like, anything good on like Disney Plus to watch or whatever. Like, he doesn't want to watch any of the series. I was like, there's new things. I was like, oh, what's new? I was like, the new Doctor Strange. So he's like, oh, I'll watch it. He turned it off after about 20 minutes. He didn't understand what was going on, and he thought it was dog shit.
Yeah,
he just couldn't. Why are you alienating a massive amount of your
the thing.
audience?
The casual is the biggest part of the audience.
Yeah.
Because we've said it before when we talk about Netflix, is that people go on to Netflix and go, oh, it's in top 10, I wish I could embarrass you.
Yeah.
We've seen it ourselves a while when we've poked fun at people for not knowing who characters are in Star Wars, and it's like, yeah, but we've watched the Clone Wars, that's how we know.
Yeah.
And like, they introduced them in Star Wars, but like the pop that we give the characters, and we're like, oh, fucking hell, we mark the fuck out. I'm using wrestling terms here for lack of basic English, But yeah, it's like we get the pop for them because we've seen the show, but like the casuals aren't gonna know who they are.
Like is the popular joke on Twitter that Star Wars fans will never live down the glub shitto accusation.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. Marvel like leaned so much on their shows that it's alienated me
because
like I just don't care anymore.
The last show I watched of Marvel was probably Hawkeye. Because I love Matt Fraction's writing. So I was like, I'm going to check this out. And I enjoyed it. but obviously Disney Plus I've got more things to say about, but I'll let you guys finish your thoughts.
Well, I'm guilty of just watching all of the shows because,
Yeah, but you're a big TV guy.
You are a massive TV guy.
I'm just the definition of consume product, I am.
Like, I've made it clear numerous times on and off the podcast is I don't watch TV. Like, I can watch 20-minute shows. I think they're more digestible. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't have the attention span to sit there for, like, an hour and watch an episode.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I know She-Hulk is 20 minutes or whatever, and people are going to say, well, I don't watch She-Hulk. I don't
but it's
care.
also bad.
I don't care.
It's also bad.
I genuinely do not give a shit about She-Hulk. I have no interest in the character. I only care about Daredevil, and I'll watch the Daredevil stuff when it comes out, probably. In fear of sounding sexist, you know.
Also, I'd like to say that the Daredevil stuff will be next week, but I thought it'd be this week, and it wasn't. So
I'll probably put the episode on and then skip it to the Daredevil stuff because I just don't care.
Yeah, that goes into the Disney Plus hype machine, which is killing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The hype machine is completely and utterly ruining it, because what they've done is they thought She-Hulk might not stand on its own writing, so we're going to say that Daredevil's showing up, but we're not having him show up until like the second to last or the last episode, because we know people want to see Daredevil again, because the Netflix show was extremely popular, extremely well written, just a fantastic show in general. People loved it, so people are going to want to see this character again. So let's put him in the very last episode, so they have to watch the entire show to see that character that they've been wanting to see since the show got cancelled in 2018.
I've got a point to add to this, and it's comparing Star Wars to Marvel again, but you look at Obi-Wan. Spoilers for Obi-Wan if anyone hasn't seen it, but I imagine everyone who would want to see it has seen it now. Anakin turns up in the show as Anakin. Not as Vader, but as Anakin, and we didn't know that.
There was no indication that Hayden Christensen would be out of costume in that show.
Yeah, we knew he was in the show. Vader's in the trailer, but the fact that we just didn't know, and it was such a good surprise.
It's the thing, though, as people who understand media, we theorized that there's very little point of putting him in the costume if he's not going to show up physically out of the costume. But there was never any confirmation that we were right with that.
And even when he did appear, I had goosebumps, and I know you said you had goosebumps as well.
And I remember thinking as well that once we see him in the episode, from a distance with the cloak on, I thought maybe that's just it. Maybe that's all we'll get of him out of costume. But no, we get that
one episode
sequences.
Opens up, doesn't it, with the training sequence from Attack of the Clones.
It's so good.
And then another point is Mando. Mando season 2, first episode, Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh shit, this wasn't in the trailer. Then you get Ahsoka. Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett. These things work better and they leave a lot lasting effect when the characters aren't shown before.
That's the thing that I have an issue with Marvel shows as well. When they purposefully hold out on a character they know you want to see, even if they haven't marketed that they're going to be in it, they hold out on it because they think, "Ooh, people are going to theorize about this. People are going to think, oh, this person's in it." This is what ruined Hawkeye for me. If you haven't seen Hawkeye, this is a spoiler.
Spoiler warning.
Kingpin is in it. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is in that series.
Mm-hmm.
In the last episode, he gets revealed in the end of episode 5.
Yeah, and he's in episode 6.
He's in episode 6. The problem with this is there was actually deleted scenes of Kingpin being in episode 2 or 3, which one of our antagonists who sort of turns, Echo, has sort of this father-daughter relationship with Kingpin, but we never get that sort of inclination because he's only in the final episode. So you can never sense their relationship and how painful it is for her to turn against him because you never see them interact.
Yeah.
Except for in the last episode. But in episode 2 or 3, there was supposed to be a whole sequence where he just shows up. There's no ceremony. He's just there and he's talked to her in a flashback. It's a little conversation between them showing their relationship. And they obviously cut that because they were no, we need people theorizing who that person in the suit is. Who's that? people
who's,
just
who's,
want that.
who's the big boss behind all this? Yeah.
Yes, they want people theorizing, and then they also completely cut Hawkeye's backstory, which sort of mirrors Kate Bishop's backstory and works really well. So I just think it's ruining shows to build hype.
The thing about Daredevil as well is that if next week I tuned in, as I usually do, to She-Hulk with no knowledge that he was going to be in the show, and if next week he does show up, and I'd been watching that episode not thinking that he was going to be in the show at all, I would have marked the fuck out.
I'm going to borrow from the wrestling world here.
Yeah.
You know, when people debut in wrestling.
Yeah.
Where sometimes they'll announce beforehand. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, this person's coming," and it'll draw a rating. You know, they'll get people to watch. But when they don't announce that someone's going to turn up, that buzz, it goes on for weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's hard.
Yeah, like another one that I won recently now, CM Punk. Everyone's heard of CM Punk. When AEW never announced that he was going to turn up, right? But they booked a show in Chicago, which is his hometown, and the talk for him went on for fucking months. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's back." If they announced him prior to that, everyone would be like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's back." But the fact that they didn't, that he just turned up, you know? Yeah. That's the way I look at it. Is like, being a big wrestling fan, I can see it in that like narrative where I can understand the point of leaving a surprise and waiting, and
when a surprise is a surprise, it just works really well.
Yeah, that's why I hate when people are saying now, "Oh, why She-Hulk show? Why you watching for Daredevil?" Because they knew you wanted to see Daredevil. If they knew that the She-Hulk show could stand on its own without the pull of Daredevil, they wouldn't have shown Daredevil.
It would just be a She-Hulk show.
They don't have faith in it, considering that the writers have said about a show about a lawyer that they can't write good courtroom scenes.
There are very few courtroom scenes in the whole.
Because they said they can't write them. They've given a show about a lawyer to people who can't write courtroom scenes.
And like we were saying with Fantastic Four, they've almost definitely given it to two nobodies so that they can just step over them and make changes that they want to at their own discretion. I really hope they get a... Well, I can't say that because writers don't have creative freedom in the MCU anymore. It's very much...
Like, they don't have them in the DCU either. And this is another point. There's like... I think if... Regardless of what you think of Zack Snyder and, you know, David Ayer and whatever... I think if they had creative freedom on their projects and released the projects they wanted to make...
Well, yeah, they were writing their own... They were writing their stories. They weren't writing someone else's story.
That's the thing. Like, you look at the Snyder Cut, regardless of what you think, it can be...
But it's definitely more unique than what has been coming out.
And then the Suicide Squad, if you look at the opposed Ayer Cut... rumors and leaks of what was meant to be in it, it sounds like a lot better film.
But
it sounds a lot better.
That's the thing as well. When they do give creative freedom, such as when they give it to James Gunn for the Suicide Squad,
it gets Gunn film.
It's received much better. You could tell it has its own personality, and that's why people were drawn to it more.
The Batman,
because it's its own thing.
The Batman is Matt Reeves through and through. It's his film. That's why it's such a good film, is because he shines through, doesn't he?
And like, this comes back to Star Wars again, you know, because they're writing these stories outside of a bigger continuity of stuff. Love the shows or hate them, at least they can write them how they want to, and they don't have to write it to fit whatever fucking film's coming out next month.
Sequels are awful, and then you look at the fucking shows. Like, the shows just do what they want, don't they?
That's why. Have you seen the supposed leaks of Superman being in Black Adam?
Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't
buy it, but I also don't care. Superman is one of my favorite superheroes, and I don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't give a shit about stuff anymore. Like,
that's why, like, the fact that my favorite piece of Superman media, is like in a good while, has been Superman and Lois, is saying something, because those writers just wrote what they wanted to write about a character that they clearly understood.
They're just writing fun Superman, yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of heart, and you can tell that they weren't pushed around by a studio because, oh, we want this to be in the show, we want it to lead into this, or we want this crossover, because there's not crossing over with things anymore.
Yeah, because, like, looking at how Black Adam is shaping up at the moment, there's not really any natural way to include Superman in it. No, it's about the Justice Society of America and Black Adam.
Also, if Superman shows up in a Black Adam film, I just want Superman to body Black Adam.
But this is the problem. Usually when, like, you look at Justice League and the Snyder Cut, when Superman comes back, not so much in the Snyder Cut, but more so in the Justice League version, is he's there because they aren't strong enough to fight the villain. Is it going to be a case of Black Adam can't fight whoever he's fighting, and Superman got to come in to save the day? Because then you just render Black Adam weak.
Because the hierarchy of the DC universe.
Yeah, and then Black Adam's buried from the moment he started. There's no logical way to put him in.
I'm fairly sure The Rock has a clause in all of his contracts where he can't lose a fight. He's not allowed to lose a fight in the film.
Isn't that very similar to who had that? Was it Steven Seagal?
Jason Seagal.
But
Steven Seagal, I'm pretty sure, had that in his contract as well. That he
I think Jason Statham has it as well, because there's the scene in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, where
they fight in tandem down two corridors. And I'm fairly sure that is due to the fact that they couldn't have an actual fight between them in the film, because both of them have clauses where they can't lose fights.
Yeah, because isn't there a fight it's one of the Fast and Furious films where it's them two fighting in a building, and isn't there a bomb that goes off and they both get blown up by that bomb, and that's so they both, like, there's no winners or losers in that fight. So
if Superman is in Black Adam, there will also be the clause in The Rock's contract where Superman can't body him instantly.
And the funny thing is that in the comics, you've had Superman Shazam teaming up against Black Adam. You aren't going to have Black Adam, like, beat them both at the end of the story, are you, if that's the way they were going to go?
But the problem is, as well, is the fact that Black Adam just doesn't seem to be any way linked to Shazam. The fact that Shazam's primary antagonist is just in no way showing any sort of sign that he'll ever meet Shazam. Well, the fact that they've said that, oh, we haven't really had any talks about it. Bro, you're his main villain.
That's another thing lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
That's another thing that's pissing me off, is, like, all the marketing and, like, well, not so much marketing, but the press and stuff. The Rock's been vocal about Superman. It's always, when will Black Adam fight Superman? Shazam is right there.
Shazam is
and I've said it before, that the fact that Black Adam isn't meeting Shazam is actively hurting Shazam films.
Yeah, because it doesn't give Shazam that big bad to go against.
Yeah,
because,
I don't mind him not fighting him in these, his first or second film. Yeah, I don't mind it as much. But, like, the first film is sort of a hint that Black Adam exists. Like, literally, it shows that Black Adam existed. There's, like, a part where it's like, oh, this champion or whatever. But the second film doesn't have any sort of inclination that Black Adam is going to have any sort of bearing at all.
Could you imagine a Batman film where the Joker's just off doing his own thing, and, like, they never fight?
When's Joker gonna fight Wonder Woman?
Like, you know what I mean? It's literally that.
They're not, like, I know that they're both powerful characters, but Shazam is also a powerful character.
Yeah, and I think that Shazam's been disrespected so far. Like,
I really like Shazam. Shazam is a really good film, I think.
He's portrayed really well in the film as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can see that he's powerful. He's just learning how to handle this power.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the thing is, they're making out that Black Adam is, like, way more powerful than Shazam. And, like, no, they basically have the same powers. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's stupid. And I think this is another thing. It's like, if Superman turns up, cool. We've got Superman back. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I know you've got some opinions.
Yeah. I love Henry Cavill as him. It's just, I want a well-written one. But
I think we've had... in my personal opinion, if we're going forward with Henry Cavill as Superman now, and, the rumours that Ben Affleck's going to come back, and they're going to go off the Snyderverse, have it now where we can finally have that Superman that's a beacon of hope. he is
Yeah.
the optimistic one.
I want that Boy Scout Superman.
We've seen his trials and tribulations. We've seen him be this beaten down guy who's like coming to terms with humanity and like, you know, not being the beacon of hope that he should be. We've seen him be beat down and rise from the ashes. Do you know what I mean?
We have seen him die. Literally, we've seen him die.
Superman needs to be the center of this universe because we've seen his struggles. And I really like the story of him, you know, learning his powers, being hated by the world, and then, you know, dying, coming back, and like realizing, actually humanity's pretty cool, you know? Yeah. Obviously, there's more to it than that. Like, but I like that story. It's a different take.
That's why I'm a bit more lenient with Man of Steel. I'm like, right, this is an origin story that can build into a hopeful Superman. Like, I have issues with the third act. Like,
I know you don't like his act too.
No, I don't mind that. It's more the fact that Superman in that entire sequence doesn't try and save a single person. Really, in the city, he doesn't try and save someone. Like they're just bodying each other through buildings, and you don't even see him try to stop something.
Him.
But that, like, I have issues with that. But like in terms of his character, I'm like, right, maybe this is just him just really struggling with himself, and then this leads into like the Superman. It just never did, and then obviously they were going to set up an evil Superman. I was like, oh, this shit again. Like, I'm fed up of evil Superman. But I want a more hopeful Henry Cavill because he's very good at Superman.
Yeah, and Henry Cavill's a treasure, isn't he? Like, anytime you see him out of character, he's just he seems like the nicest guy, doesn't he?
Just like, can we have him as a guest?
Other than him being,
I love him.
Other than him being insanely jacked, he's just like us.
He is just.
That interview where they're like, "Oh, Xbox or PlayStation," and he just looks at them and he's like,
PC.
He's awesome, isn't he?
There's been like interviews where he was like talking about like painting Warhammers. He's talking about like Overwatch, World of Warcraft. Like
he loves the stuff we love.
And like I've said before, if DC don't nail him down, Marvel are going to.
Yes.
And I'd rather see him as Superman. Yeah, he's like one of the biggest rising stars of the last couple of years, isn't he? Because obviously with Superman, he done The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He done The Witcher, Like, I'd like him to play James Bond. I would like him to play James Bond if Idris Elba fails. Because like I really want Idris Elba. But...
Yeah, because they were saying recently they want a Bond for 10 to 20 years.
And I don't see Idris Elba being there now. He's getting on, isn't he?
Idris Elba is getting on, he hasn't got that.
I do think he's the smoothest guy in the world, isn't he? Like, he's so suave. I think he'd be class. But yeah, like, they need to nail Henry Cavill down. He needs to be the center point of their universe. They need to just build the world around this beacon of hope, Superman.
The problem is, it just seems like all the superhero genre in general is just not doing well.
It's crumbling because DC don't know what they're going to do, and Marvel doing the same things over and over.
Yeah, so it's showing its cracks.
In conclusion, I would rather die being a superhero hater than live on my knees.
It's just the fact that the most memorable superhero films have been like the most memorable Marvel film to me is like Into the Spider-Verse or Logan.
Yeah.
Those are the ones
Days of Future
that
Past
stick
as well
out
for me. I really like Days of Future Past.
Like, they are very much their own
ones
thing.
that aren't in the MCU continuity.
Yeah.
Like, but even then, like, the most memorable ones in the MCU continuity are the ones where you could tell that there is a creative vision behind it, at least.
Well, like not God of War.
Sorry. Not God of War.
Ragnarok, though.
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, not God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. You never got to play God of War Ragnarok.
But yeah, the fact that...
And like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Even Ant-Man. Like
Ant-Man, because...
the bits
I'm a defender of Ant-Man. I like Ant-Man.
I like Ant-Man. But you could tell that Edgar Wright had his hand in that at some point.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that really, I think they need to move more towards. Like,
studios need to stay away from the project.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
they need to basically go, right, you're a creator or a creative person. Go and create what you want to create in our world.
Yeah, I hope they've seen that things sort of haven't been going too well with the Phase 4.
No, they don't, because the problem is they've villainized the people who have legit criticisms.
Yeah, and that's the thing I've seen, is a lot of people being like, oh, yeah, well, Phase 1 wasn't that good, it's just setting it up. Yeah, but no, it's not setting it up, because we've had, like, we're just burnt out to this point. We've had our conclusion. They should have taken a couple of years off.
Yeah.
They should have done what Star Wars has done.
Yeah, because...
Like, I don't know. They should have focused on stories outside of, like, the main film continuity.
But it's the fact that we are able to say that the MCU and DC are both not in good ways.
We
want them to be better. That's the thing. We like this stuff, and we want it not to disappear, but to thrive in a way that is good. I don't want the soulless way.
I don't want the Italians to start making all of my Marvel movies.
But
spaghetti MCU.
What are you gonna do?
No. What are you gonna do? Fucking gabagool.
Black Adam shows up and bash your face into bolognese.
That's 2 cans of food. It's just
we want
shit
it
at the
to be
moment,
better.
isn't it?
It is defeating to just look at these things that you used to love and be like, oh, come on. I want that same feeling of, this is awesome. This is really good to watch. This is
Ash, some of my favourite like cinema memories are with you going to watch superhero films.
Yeah.
Like Man of Steel, we were sitting there and we had that little kid in the front row singing and we were just like, I'm gonna fucking kick him now. Like, shut up. And like going to watch Iron Man 3.
I love honestly, I love like all those memories of going to see those films, and it's just why it's not like that anymore.
We don't even ask each other anymore. We going to see them, do we?
No, because half the time all of them are on Disney Plus. All of them are Disney Plus series, and there's like nothing films coming out where.
But even then, the films are on Disney Plus. 3 to 6 months after,
unless you're No Way Home.
Yeah, unless you're No Way Home and you can't go onto Disney Plus.
Can I just say, as like a positive to this argument, that like Spider-Man is the only like interesting thing in the MCU at the moment,
which is insane because he started out as the one that
I hated him.
Really wasn't a fan of, but I
feel
he's standing on his own feet. He's Spider-Man now.
This is coming from 3 people who haven't been the biggest fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Because even if you took the nostalgia out of that film, I think Spider-Man actually was able to shine on his own as 100%. Spider-Man, rather than I'm just Iron Man Jr. Yeah, he's able to stand on his own, and now he is Spider-Man. Nobody knows who he is. He's Spider-Man.
One thing I don't like is the end of that film. Nobody knows who he is, do they?
Yeah,
no.
And then he sees MJ, he sees Ned, and they don't know him.
That they're doing better off without him. And
it's not that
he has to make those hard calls.
Yeah, it's not that scene that bothers me. I like that scene. I thought, Zendaya is apparently coming back for the next film. Why?
Because she's Tom Holland's real life girlfriend.
Yeah,
probably.
I know that. Ned's coming back, but why didn't they just do Gwen? Why haven't they brought Black Cat? These characters that we haven't necessarily
why are they not doing
great exposure to. Yeah. Like obviously Gwen was in The Amazing Spider-Man, and I liked Emma Stone's portrayal. I
have like actual casting for an MCU Gwen as well. I have legitimate casting, and this has been on
so it's not Hailee Steinfeld.
It's not. No, it's Millie Alcock who plays the young Rhaenyra Targaryen.
I've actually seen that on Twitter.
It's really good casting. And she's a very good actress.
But it is probably the most interesting that I think because...
Sorry, I'll stop
because
if we stay on that
these films are being made by Sony to fit into the MCU. They have a bit more leeway with things. Mm-hmm. I think they are able to go, we can just pull out of this deal. I don't know how the contract works, but... that Marvel know that if they take a wrong footing and push them around, they can easily go, we have the rights to this character. We can just go back to making him ourselves.
There's probably a thing where Sony probably think, well, at the end of this contract, we don't have to renew it.
Another thing is, on the horizon, as bad as the solo films have been, we do have the Sinister Six coming.
Yeah.
We do have that and as bad as, Morbius.
Morbid time!
And Venom, and
yeah.
I think that will be a good film if given the right direction, because at the end of No Way Home, that is Spider-Man.
The fact that I went from Far From Home being like, oh, this is kind of meh.
I think Far From Home's the worst Spider-Man film.
I was like, this is like Homecoming. There are the bits where he's Spider-Man are good. The bits where he's relying on Iron Man, bad.
I've said
Homecoming
this before,
definitely has a charm to it.
I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than them both, and I know a lot of people don't like Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I don't like Amazing Spider-Man. I can say that Homecoming has its moments where it feels like Spider-Man, and then Far From Home is just not Spider-Man to me. And the fact that we have gone from going, I don't like this Spider-Man, to being, this is probably the most interesting part of the MCU for us now.
It's crazy, isn't it?
The fact that we can go, I'm looking forward to seeing another Spider-Man film. It just shows that, again, just
they've got something right.
Oh yeah,
but at the same time, there's only one thing they're doing right.
Because I'm not even excited for the inevitability that the X-Men are going to show up.
No,
I'm nervous.
The thing that's annoying me with the X-Men is that they are teasing it now. They've put
the mutation.
And obviously they had Charles in Multiverse of Madness. Absolutely. But they've said themselves that X-Men is years out.
So why are they showing that sort of stuff now?
Why have they started teasing it?
Do you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna bring in Logan, because Logan, X-Men can't function without Wolverine. Mm-hmm. They're gonna bring him in, and then they're gonna bring the team in, and then it's like I've said before to you guys, I don't want Wolverine in the MCU.
I wouldn't mind him in the MCU, but bring in.
I don't want him to be the focal point of the team.
No,
I don't even want him in there. We've had Hugh Jackman, who he's always going to be Wolverine to me.
He is Wolverine.
I do Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Iceman, Gambit. That's my team that I do.
Of course you put Gambit in there, you slut.
Yeah, but he's so underappreciated, and he's one of the most interesting characters in the X-Men.
Yeah.
To cap it off, then they are going the way of the Western.
Yeah.
If they're on they're going to stay on this course. They are going to die off.
If they stay on this course, Italian filmmakers will start making all of the MCU movies. They'll get all the washed up stars to star in them.
Yep.
And that's kind of.
It's.
In conclusion, MCU bad, DCU not much better. Independent stories doing just great.
Rings of Power bad.
Rings of Power bad. She-Hulk bad. I hate
Sopranos
women.
Great.
Sopranos is the best show on television ever. Gabagoo.
And just rewatch Steinfeld.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We move on to our recommendations. We got something that we were going to do before the news.
But because we're idiots and we can't read.
We're just going to have a little chat about what we've been up to this week.
Because we've been thinking, and preface this, we've been thinking that we do this podcast and we do an alarmingly little amount of just talking about media that we've consumed. We just talk about big things all the time, so I thought, style it back a bit.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about us and what we've been doing.
I've been watching all of the things I hate, as I usually do.
It does just seem that way, doesn't it?
She-Hulk's on every week and I hate it, and Rings of Power's on every week and I hate it. But I watch Rings of Power as a direct comparison to House of the Dragon, because I'm really enjoying House of the Dragon. I was saying to Ash the other day that it feels like Rings of Power is trying to do what Game of Thrones does and focus on the politicking of everything. But it's what makes Game of Thrones works is the politics.
Yeah.
And Rings of Power doesn't work that way.
No, that's not what Tolkien's universe was about.
Aside from TV, I've obviously been playing Destiny.
Oh,
Yeah.
as every week.
Yeah, playing Destiny as I do every week. Finding out some nice developments in the seasonal story of we're keeping the big bad of the seasonal story in some pots all together.
In the same place.
In the same place. Yeah, in the same place. I explained this to Ash and we've come to the conclusion it's not a brilliant idea, but we're going to keep doing it anyway, aren't we?
Of course.
I'm trying to think what else I've watched this week or played. I've been playing Cyberpunk again. Back in it. I've got through the prologue now. I'm firmly in the Johnny Silverhand bit of the story. It's good now. It's good. It was good before. It's just a bit buggy, but it's not buggy anymore. It's fun. There's new things. The appearance. There's like transmogging and stuff. It's all quality of life improvements that are all quite good. Other than that, I now have a full-time job and.
Way. A little boy's grown up, Bash.
I know.
I'm now an adult, and I come home at 4:00 every day, and I'm shattered. And then I have to watch all the TV I hate. It's basically what my life is now. I get home and I'm like, it's 4:00, and I feel tired. I'm like, I could watch Rings of Power now. Yay. But in conclusion to what I've done this week, just a whole lot of stuff that isn't very good. Just avoid most of what I've been doing.
Are you turning into the masochist?
I think so, but I think Ash derives joy from playing the Soulsborne.
Yeah, Ash has fun when he plays the Soulsborne stuff and like difficult stuff. Like Ash gets a great sense of achievement from doing it, doesn't he? You don't get any joy from these.
No,
he just gradually gets sad.
Daredevil will show up, and then I probably still won't enjoy the episode. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Who else?
I can go next if you want.
Yeah.
I've been playing this little indie title this week. It's only in beta, but it's a very little known niche project. You probably don't know what it's called, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh wow, I've never heard of that before.
No.
It's ass. It's fucking dog shit. It's so bad.
I feel like this is just going to be a trend going forward, where everything we experience in a given week is just going to be bad.
Okay, so I just don't like it. The time to kill is weird.
Too high or too low?
It's a mixture of both. Okay,
right.
So
okay.
Body shots are way too high.
But headshots
like one shot and you're dead.
Well, it
feels like I'm playing Siege when I'm getting shot sometimes. The spawns are horrendous. The amount of times I see people just spawn behind me in my spawn and then just come up and shoot me in the back, and I'm like, really? The maps, there's like one map I like out of the beta. Granted, there's only like 3 different maps, but the other 2 are ass. I was playing a game mode called Ground War, and it's like Battlefield, but somehow worse. And Ground War's been in COD forever, but they've never done it to this scale. I think it's 32 people a team now. It's usually like 9 to a team with COD. Well, when I was playing COD, I haven't really played COD for a few years. I think MW1, like the reboot, was the last COD I properly played. There is another mode that I liked called Invasion. But I was doing really well. And I was saying to Reese, I was playing it with Reese, who's one of our friends. I was saying, I'm doing really well. I must have had like 80 kills. And then the game finished and it said I had a 2 KD and I only died 10 times. So I was like, what? And then I checked the thing and it turns out I was playing against like AI and people, and I got really upset because I thought I was doing really well. Like the guns are weird. Like, I don't know, I just, there seems like there's going to be a very big meta in the game.
Well, they've updated, from what I understand, they've updated the whole gunsmith thing for this game again.
Yeah, the menu is shite. Like, it's the same type of menu we've had in Warzone and like previous. I don't like it. It's clunky to get around.
So from a game that was probably going to be like maybe a day one purchase for you,
I'm not getting it.
You're not getting it at all.
No, not getting it. This game, when it got announced, I was really excited because MW2 is my favorite COD for multiplayer, like the original. I have so many good memories on that, and this game is just, COD's dead. COD is finished. Like, and
a game.
No, but seriously, the amount of hate, like, it's got mixed reviews on Steam for a start.
Oh.
Like the beta has. So like it's not just me that's experiencing this. And people are saying, oh well, just get good. No, it's not get good. Fix the fucking game. Make it so like it's just not ass. Like quick play a skill-based matchmaking. And while I'm in very big favor of skill-based matchmaking, I like it. I don't like it in quick play.
No, quick play is not supposed to be taken that seriously.
Yeah, and like I don't want to have to sweat every time I want to play just standard Call of Duty. Like if certain game modes had it, then fair enough, but they don't. They all have it. But yeah, it's not good.
Skill issue.
And another thing I've seen, I alluded to it earlier, is that like a lot of people are saying like it's getting bad reviews. Well, I say a lot of people, the very niche Xbox Twitter crowd are saying it's getting bad reviews because, you know, it's an Xbox project now. No, it's not. I would have bought it on PC anyway. I wouldn't have bought, like, I can't aim on the controller.
Yeah, I was intending to buy this on PlayStation.
Like, it's not that. If a game's bad, a game is bad. And I think this game is bad. I don't like it. I will not be buying it.
Skill issue.
But
skill issue,
yeah.
Skill issue. Sieve, cope, mold, skill issue, L, ratio.
Other than that, I completed another mastery on Age of Empires.
Oh, sexy. Which one?
I completed the Rus one.
The
Russia one.
The Ruskies.
Yeah. I'm halfway through doing the Chinese, I believe. My goal is to get all the masteries done before the Ottomans and the Malians drop. Also, I played as the Ottos and the Malians because I had
that was
Age of Empires 4 Insider
maybe the week before.
Yeah, but I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah, this is the thing about why I've put this section forward, is because there's stuff like that you did that we didn't get a chance to talk about.
You get a look into our personal lives.
You get to see
how
much
we hate ourselves.
You get to see all of the media that we consume, and you can actually see that we have absolutely zero taste whatsoever.
I can't go into too much detail about the beta because I don't think I'm allowed to.
Nah, you did have to sign an NDA to be part of the Insider program. So
I'm not going to mention specifics, but it's going to be fun when these civilizations drop. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be very fun. What else have I been up to? I've been playing a lot of FTL. I really like that game. I'm trying to unlock all the ships on FTL. I've unlocked a new one and it comes with no shields, and I got immediately blown up.
I'm just thinking of the fucking Megamind meme, no shields.
No shields.
I made one for Ash before when he was streaming Pokemon. He was doing a Nuzlocke and his starter died, and I just made one that said no starter.
Yeah, I put that into the stream then.
You did as well, yeah, that's in the stream. That was so fun.
I've been watching a lot of a YouTube channel this week. You boys made fun of me for watching it. But he's called Froggy Flips, and basically he's an American YouTuber who goes around yard sales and he owns a store and he flips like stuff he gets. And like I like watching stuff like that because I watch porn stars a lot, not actual porn stars.
Yeah.
But he watches them as well. Watches PORN quite a
lot. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music this week. I've been listening to a band. I'll tell you who they are for my recommendation.
Okay.
And other than that, I've been just playing Siege again. I've been grinding out the battle pass, you know.
Icky.
Yeah, I know.
Icky.
Skill issue.
L plus ratio plus don't care plus didn't ask.
Dead game. Right.
But
I believe that's
what have I been doing this week? Fuck all.
Listening to Back to Life 10 consecutive times in a row.
Shut up. I'll listen to it after the podcast now just to spite you. And I'll enjoy it. But I've been playing Avengers, as I always do. The new Villain Sector came out, which
also
is
Monica Rappaccini.
Also Monica Rappaccini, and also Monica Rappaccini, as the health buzz told me. It's pretty naff. Like, the boss fight's alright. Like, it's nothing special. It'll take you about 10 minutes to get through it. They set it up to be this big thing. It's nowhere near as good as Beating the Odds, which is the other Monica Villain Sector they brought out, which was very good.
We did establish, though, from from this and the last Monica thing is that beating women gives you a buff to damage.
It does, yeah. If you beat up Monica clones, it gives you damage buff. So, you know, make of that as you will. But obviously, I went grinding to the shipments, which is like the cosmetic loot boxes, which is all in-game currency. You can see what's in it before you open it. It's a pretty good system. I quite like the shipment system. Just to try and get, there's like specialty items they put out every month, and it's a new Kate Bishop outfit, which is like a Stark Tech outfit. It's pretty good.
Surprise!
I've been grinding that out. I don't know if I'll finish it because it finishes in less than a week.
Surprise! He's been trying to get the Kate Bishop outfit.
Shut your fucking mouth. What else have I been doing? I've been watching Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Very good series. I'm about
my recommendation. Well, not my recommendation because you were going to watch it anyway.
Yeah. But about 2 to 3 episodes off finishing it. Very good. I'm very afraid to finish it because I have a feeling where I know where it's going.
Emotional damage.
Honestly, just halfway through the series, the amount of emotions, it's too much. It's just stop it. Well, it is a hard watch, but at the same time, you just can't stop watching.
No, it was very good.
Very good. So I'll probably finish that very soon. Probably just finish the last few episodes in one sitting. What would be like less than an hour. So
yeah,
do that. I've gone back to a game as well that I haven't played in a while, and I found out it was on PS Plus Extra. I have it on Switch, but I decided I'll play it on PlayStation, and it's Scott Pilgrim.
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah. Very fun game. Classic arcade style beat 'em up. Very, very fun. A lot of fun to play. Just been sort of jumping onto that occasionally, kicking the shit into some dudes. You know, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like those sort of games. So went into that. I watched an anime with my girlfriend, which
I know this as well.
I
know of this as well because you've watched at least one episode with me.
Yeah,
and you watched quite a bit of it a while ago as well, didn't you? With one of our
older friends.
Yeah,
it's trash. It's very much just I can't believe it's not hentai.
What was it called?
It is called Why the Hell Are You Here,
Teacher? Yeah.
So I said to my girlfriend, it's comical, like it's so funny, and she's like, "Should we watch it?" I was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's watch it." And then we got invested.
You basically just watched porn with your girlfriend and got invested in it. So
we got invested in it. So like the stories were like, what's going to happen to this person? Oh my god, what's going to? It is trash. If we finish the whole series in a night, they are shorter episodes than normal anime.
I suppose it's like along the lines of people who are like interested in like things like EastEnders and Coronation Street. Though,
it was but EastEnders and Coronation Street did not have the sort of shit that was happening. And Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher?
Oh, I should hope not.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. To be fair, like just sometimes being a degenerate is fun. That's how it goes. We watched that, and then I've just been like jumping back to old games. Really, like I played a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy again. Really enjoyed that.
Have you got the platinum yet?
I have not. I need to go and get all like the bonuses and shit, and I'm missing like one outfit for Gamora. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing that, and I've started playing a bit of Ghost of Tsushima again on the hardest difficulty.
I believe
that's all I've been doing this week, and that's all we've been doing this week because we are sad fucks.
And I imagine we won't do this every week because there's going to be, some weeks where what we did that week won't change from what we did the week before.
No, because we're not exactly the most interesting of people at times.
No. But now we go to closing the show out
with our recommendations.
I recommend that, as Ash said, he was a bit of a degenerate. I recommend that everyone listening goes and acts like just a little bit of a degenerate.
What?
Love yourself. Take care of yourself.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Just do you, king or queen.
Yes.
choke the chicken, or strum the guitar, something like that. Oh God, this is going off the rails.
Flog the dolphin.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
But for a legitimate recommendation, I'm gonna go through my backlog because I've watched quite a few things that I really enjoyed, and just because I didn't actually watch anything this week to recommend, I'm gonna recommend a horror slasher directed by Ty West called X. The letter X.
You have said that is very good.
It was a very, very good film. I once again reviewed this movie for my Letterboxd. I gave it. What did I give it? That's not my profile. I gave it. Oh my God! Why am I having so much trouble getting into my Letterboxd? I gave it 4.5 stars. So high praise from me. It stars Mia Goth, I believe. Kid Cudi's in it. There's quite a lot of actors that I didn't know before watching the film, but those are the two that I'd say I did know. Very good. Very well done. Gets around the thing that slashers usually do it, and actually has likable characters.
Whoa!
Wait, what?
That's illegal.
Yeah, but not only are the characters themselves likable, it's that the killers are also very easy to sympathize with as well. So it's not like here's a group of people you should actively despise, and here's a group of people that you should be rooting for. It's very, very deep, very complex. A lot to think about. Very good film. I recommend go out and buy it. If you can't go out and buy it, rent it on something. And if you really, really want to, I'm not promoting this, but pirate it because I just think it should be watched. I know that the prequel movie called Pearl just released in theaters maybe last weekend, so I do really want to go see that, but I can't find anywhere showing it around me, so kind of sad.
Sag.
Right.
I'm gonna recommend that you download a colouring app on your phone.
Oh, don't.
Take some time out of your day and colour some pictures, kings and queens.
Yeah, because this man can't colour in the lines.
Nah, but I'm going to recommend a band that I've discovered this week. They are called Dark Divine.
Oh.
They are a very new band, and the day that this podcast comes out, their EP comes out.
Oh.
So
it's like it was meant to be.
Yeah. They're really good metal band. They're like if Ice Nine Kills and Motionless in White had a love child. They're very good.
Ooh.
Definitely ones to watch in the metal community.
He is the music man, and he is coming down your lane.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna recommend another film. I know, variety and shit, but fuck you. It's our podcast. We can do what we like. And fuck you too if you have a problem with it. I edit them. I'll just remove you from the podcast.
Right. Okay. This is getting a bit aggressive. I don't want to know where he's going with this.
I think my internet's just going to remove me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is he about to recommend a film that we just don't like?
No. You very much like this film. It is The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's such a good film. Animated film. Cinema. Just watch it. It's cinema.
It's cinema. It's the first film I gave 5 stars to this
Martin
year.
Scorsese weeps.
He does. Honestly, it's great. Just watch it. It's about a family and they're on a road trip and there's a robot uprising. I won't say anything else. You just need to watch it.
As I said in my Letterboxd review, to directly quote the movie, behold cinema.
Yep. Just watch it.
Absolute travesty that this lost the Oscar to Encanto.
But its Twitter account was pretty funny about how it lost. It was we will be avenged and stuff like that, and then they had to put in their replies to it that no, this is a joke. It was really funny.
Encanto was bad.
Oh, yikes! We've already shit on everything today. Let's not go any further.
Oh Christ!
So thank you all for listening. That's it for this week. I've been Kick-Ass.
I've been Hit Girl, I believe was the consensus.
I've been Nick fucking Cage.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Gabagoo.
Ash, question for you. Al's been failing to understand this today. Do you know if you stick your head on Mandingo's body, is it still your body? If I put your head on Mandingo's naked body, am I looking at you naked?
Probably, yeah.
Wait, what?
But you haven't got a big black wang.
Yeah, but you are literally it's your body now because your head is attached to it. Your brain is controlling that body, so it's your body.
Wait, so am I right?
Is this the fucking ship of Theseus? What's fucking going on here?
It is. If you replace all the planks, is it still the ship of Theseus?